Oh, yeah, okay. I'd like to call this meeting to order. Good evening. This evening, we'll have roll call first.
Commissioner Bailey.
Here.
Commissioner Gay.
Here.
Commissioner Sapsy.
Here.
Commissioner Bunting.
Here,
Commissioner Owens is absent.
yes. Okay, Commissioner Bailey.
Bow your heads, please. Our most gracious Heavenly Father, we just thank you for the day and the blessings in it. We just ask, Father, for continued prayers for our servicemen and women overseas and at home. Our first responders, Father, we ask blessings upon them. We ask blessings upon our community, Father, for our new and upcoming year. And we just ask for the best blessings that we could have. First in his name we pray, amen.
Okay, pledge allegiance to the flag.
Pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America
and to
and the republic for which it stands,
one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty
and justice for all. Excuse me for a moment here. Put myself up. Okay, do we have any additions or deletions to the agenda?
With the agendas presented. Support.
Okay, Commissioner Bailey has supported the agenda.
Bailey made it. Bailey made it, Gay supported it.
Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, I gotta get my other glasses on so I can see. Okay.
Yeah, it's vote.
Okay, brief comments.
Oh, we got to vote on
Oh, I'm sorry. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those deny, say nay. Motion has passed. Okay. Public comment. Does anybody have any comments? Go ahead. Yes, do you want to come up to it? Yes.
it. Yeah, there's a microphone up there, so we can hear.
My name's Monica Jean. I work for Michigan State University Extension, and I'm an agronomist, or I work with field crop growers in the area. So the office in Elma is my main office. I've been there for almost 6 years. I've been with MSU Extension for almost 10. I did 4 years in the UP prior. That sounds like I almost did I'm in the military there, but when I said that, but yeah, I was there first when I got out of grad school. So I'm from Beale City. I graduated there. My family has a farm not far outside of Mount Pleasant. I just wanted to introduce myself to the board. My district director, Bill, I'm sure you've met, asked if I've ever been, and I can't say that I have, or it's been some time. So I just wanted to introduce myself, and we have one of our biggest meetings coming up that's at the RESD here in town, just down the road on Thursday. And we are maxing out the room. We have so many people, so many farmers coming. So I'm very happy to say that our research and education with the growers in the area, I think, is very healthy. I always have more work to do. I think I had 8 different research sites in Gratiot County this year. And I do cover more counties than just Gratiot. But I was very happy with the amount of research on farms, because that's my favorite work to do with the growers. Helps sharpen their pencil and just see how different products or different kind of practices work on their own land. So I think that was it. My colleague here came with me, Ashley. She is our 4-H program. You want to say hi? Okay.
My name is Ashley Foster. I was here a couple months ago, I think, for my first meeting. I'm the 4-H coordinator for Gratiot County. We are doing many fun and wonderful, interesting things. I actually have a parliamentary procedure training for our youth that they will participate in on the 20th, actually at the Emerson Township Hall. We have a fun night, getting kids interested, learning about pre-college information that they can do through MSU Extension and 4-H exploration days and things like that. But we're just kind of rolling on, trying to get enrollment up. Numbers are growing, so it's a good thing.
Good.
So
Not very often we have a former agent here, and yeah. I didn't even think of it until she said extension days, because I remember being the MSU with you there, so.
I don't know if we could take questions at the time. If you guys ever wanted to
Right.
chat, I have my business card too, but I would be happy.
Love to have one, because I was gonna ask you some questions, but I don't wanna, it's 3 minutes.
Yes, I would like one also. I'm
I don't
on
want-
board.
Can I-
And might hit with a gavel, 3 minutes is all you got.
Okay, is there anyone else that would like to speak?
Yep.
There's no one else? Okay, we'll continue on. Thank you. I am on your board.
Yeah.
Thank you. Okay. Consideration of consent calendar.
The consent calendar is presented.
Or
Motion by Commissioner Bailey and supported by Commissioner Sapshi. All those in favor say aye. Those opposed say nay. Motion passed. Okay, going down through administration report.
Yeah, provided everybody with a few documents tonight. I'm not going to take a whole lot of time going through these. Particularly, there are 4 policies on the top that I'll just touch on for a second, but I'm passing them out tonight so that you have them. To read those over, and we'll talk about it more in depth at the next meeting. The top one is, well, I should back up first. I've gone through and found as many policies, I think, as there are in existence, but there are a number of policies that we have no record of when they were adopted. I'm sure we could do research and go through the minutes, figure out when they were adopted, but rather than spend our time doing that, I wanted to review these anyway, because a few of them have some tweaks that are absolutely necessary. Others aren't following the format that was originally set up by the board, so we're making sure all of that's done at once. You need to know what those policies are. So over the next few months, I'll bring 4 or 5, maybe 6, if they're really short. Put them in front of you, give you an opportunity to review them, and then we'll make an opinion at a later meeting. The first one on top is the policies and procedures policies. Right now, it's labeled as the policy on policies. I'd never seen this done before, but I really like it because it sets up the parameters for the format of what these policies are going to look like and how they're going to be indexed. So nothing in there that really is earth-shattering, but it does tell us, here's how these policies are going to look. And you can expect to find these categories in each one. What's the authority of the board? Who does it apply to? Who's responsible for what? So all of that's in that outline. Second one, I think it's pretty timely because we are supposedly in winter. We have a snow days policy right now that starts out by saying there shall be no snow days. I don't think that's reasonable. You'll want to go through this policy and read through about if we do have to close the building or close operations, here's how we're going to do it. How does that impact employees? Well, if we're going to close the building and say don't come to work, we'll count that as an administrative leave day. We don't necessarily want to count against PTO time or any other time off. What about employees who have to work during that time? Well, that's addressed here as well. For instance, I'm looking at the sheriff. You don't get to close. So, when deputies are working, how is that going to work out? The very first thing I want to draw your attention to is under the authority, under section 2.2, we're acknowledging the authority of all of our elected department heads, and I'm citing each statute for you so that you can see that. I'll use the clerk now as an example. If we are operating from 8 until 4:30, but the county clerk wants to operate from 8:30 till 5 o'clock, that's at her discretion. She can do that with her office. She can't necessarily just give out overtime and make other assignments like that. But as far as what's going on in that office, department heads do have some discretion. So that's also addressed in this policy. If something's going on and the clerk's office needs to close for some reason, there's a process here to follow that. Also, there's some discussion in here about, what happens if we order everybody to go home and somebody stayed. Well, that's a little word called insubordination, and we'll have to deal with that if and when the time comes. So all of that covered in here, I think, is pretty comprehensive. It is obviously more detailed than the policy that says we never close. All right. Next one is a legal services policy. This would be brand new. You don't have one right now, at least not one that I could find. Please read this one closely. This is an area that I think we're going to need to tap into a few times over the next few months. as far as getting legal opinions about policies, but about some other things that I think are going to cross our path here. So just review that, and we'll talk about it at the next meeting. The last policy in the group is the credit card policy. This one, please, again, read this one thoroughly. Couple of things in play. First of all, I have a placeholder in here about credit cards that are issued to departments and what's the maximum amount on the cards. The placeholder number here is $2,500. Having done a review of all the cards that are out there, we have at least 3 departments with a $5,000 limit on them. So that's a number that we probably have to change. Again, it's just a placeholder for me right now, but that's one that we'll have a better discussion of. I will provide you that list of departments so that you can see them. There is that last page I want to turn your attention to, that any card holder that we have, anybody who's assigned a card, we're going to ask to sign this cardholder agreement. Very first thing it does is acknowledge the policy and an agreement that our department head or whoever's assigned the card will comply with that policy. But again, reiterating some of the things that are in the policy on this form that we would ask to be signed. Once the department head signs that, it would come to my office, we would acknowledge that, and then we would have that on record. Some things you don't get to do with a county card, clearly, I would think sometimes it would go without saying, but no personal purchases on that card. In fact, if you're going to purchase anything on that card, it needs to be delivered to the county, not anywhere else, not to your home, or to somebody else's resident, but it comes to this facility or wherever your office might be. Other things you don't purchase with a card, things like alcohol. You don't purchase gifts. You don't do hospitality or entertainment with the credit card. All of these things are already unlawful to begin with, but we're reiterating it. Just because you have a card, those rules are not off. And by the way, you're also required to comply with all of the purchasing policies that the county has. So if there is a requirement for getting quotes or issuing an RFP, those rules all still apply. Now you have these now to take a look at. I am working on scheduling a meeting with all of our department heads. Right now, looking at trying to schedule it on Monday, the 12th, probably a 9 o'clock meeting. So if your department head in the room, all I got to do now is just secure that on my calendar, get a message out to everyone. These policies will be vetted at that level as well. So we'll get that feedback. And so there may be modifications before you see this again. It gives the departments an opportunity to look at this and say, okay, how does this affect my department? Did you think about A, B, and C? And by the time this all gets back to you, hopefully thoroughly vetted by every department, and any tweaks that we need to make will be done. We'll move forward at that point. So the other key on each of these, you'll see here at the very top under the title, what resolution number is tied to this policy being adopted and what date. So we will have that actually in the document. 10 years from now, anybody looking for that will have it. It'll be right there. So that's hopefully will be an exercise that we don't necessarily have to repeat, but I think it's very important that you as commissioners know what's in these policies, and that gives us then the ability to enforce them as you've adopted and as you've intended. Some policies you're going to see have not been touched in probably a couple of decades. So it's very important that we look at those, not only update them, but you need to be aware of what's there so that when one of us makes a decision to do something, it's tied back to that policy and you have the ability to go back and see it yourself and make any other decisions you may need to do at that point. The last document I'm giving to you as an example, I did mention, I believe at the last meeting, maybe the one before, there are a few RFPs that I'd like to issue, and one of them I think is most critical is one for the internal financial controls audit. Along with the policies, there are certain rules for anybody handling any kind of cash in the county. What happens if I pay you $1 for a permit? What happens to that dollar? Who sees it next? How is it receipted in? How do we track it? When it comes time for auditing, how do we find it? It's very important that these internal controls are actually written down. Internal controls for the clerk's office are going to look very different than the internal controls for my office because the clerk's handling a lot of transactions. Our office does not. We don't take money in necessarily, although we are responsible for tracking where it all is. So this comes down to a group of controls, internal steps, if you will, that'll be made very specific to each office. Our clerk, our treasurer, our register of deeds, in particular when they're taking in money for, maybe it's a birth certificate, or maybe it's some kind of a property transaction, or in the treasurer's case, maybe it's property taxes themselves. There are some very specific statutory requirements that they have to follow. Register of deeds, for instance, a certain amount of money gets turned back to the state, which then gets given back to the counties in the form of grants for remonumentation and things of this nature. If we're not able to track that, if we can't point to a document that says, here's how this money is processed, things can get lost, right? So what's very important on an internal control process is that we document all that and then we follow those processes. Now, this is something that was also called out in the 2024 audit for the county. Something that said it's very important that we focus on this, we get our house in order. We have myself, we have Todd Muggenberg as our finance director. Between the both of us, we're bringing a few decades worth of experience with this sort of thing. But we do have day-to-day tasks. We could probably create this, but we'd have to drop everything else to do it. So shooting out an RFP to qualified auditing firms to do this for us will not only make it more efficient, but it will expedite the whole process for us. Honestly, this, I think, is the most critical thing we need to do here in the first quarter of the calendar year, second quarter of our fiscal year. And I think it's important that by the time the fiscal year 25 audit is completed, that we are able to show progress against the deficiencies that were called out in the last audit. So this will get us on the road to do that. I'm providing this to you because this is the format that's similar for any RFP we're going to issue out of my office. There's some standard things that we have to have in our in any contract, in any audit, or any RFP that we issue. We have to require equal employment opportunity. We have to require compliance with the Davis-Bacon Act. We have to demonstrate the debarment and suspension statutes are taken into consideration. So a lot of that's boilerplate. First few pages, though, of an RFP that I shoot out really give you the gist of what we're after. So an internal controls document, what will that look like? So that's listed in here, as are the due dates for the RFPs and when the decision dates are and so forth. That standard format will be in all of these. In this case, it's kind of fast-tracked it. I would like to see us have proposals by your February 3rd meeting. I think I've got the date right. But that first meeting in February to look at and decide whether or not we're going to proceed with it. And I'm going to tell you right now, if these things come back and the prices are outrageous, I'm going to let you know that, but you're not obligated to do anything with those. Written in here several times is that you have the ability to say, no, we're not doing this. This is too expensive, take too long, whatever it might be. And then maybe we take another whack at it with maybe a pared down set of requirements, whatever that might be. This is not going to come in at that high of a price. I'm pretty confident in saying that. I do have a list of 17 different audit firms that audit counties across the state, and we'll send this directly to them by email. And hopefully we'll get several responses that way. My last time doing that with Ogama County, we got 7 responses. I'm hoping for something similar in Gratiot, maybe more. This isn't something that's going to take an audit firm a lot of time, but there is pretty detailed legwork that's got to be done in that process. The second one I want to issue is one that will get us pricing for automated time and attendance system for the county. One that would integrate with our current general ledger system through BSNA so that there is a minimal number of keystrokes that need to be entered. When an employee says, I checked in at 8:30 and I left at, you check in at 8 o'clock, I left at 4:30. There shouldn't be anyone else that needs to alter that. Department head sees it, approves it, goes on to payroll, and it's taken care of.
Well, I just approved that one.
I did not. This is just to give you an example.
I'm like, I would have.
Yeah.
Okay.
So what this does, though, too, is protects the county as an employer, protects you in terms of compliance with the Fair Labor Standards Act. Just an example. If I'm an hourly employee and I work 40 hours a week, I'm being paid straight time. If I work 40.5 hours a week, that half hour is subject to overtime rules. It's very easy sometimes to get momentum going. You're working, and whoops, I'm a half hour over. Well, I'll just put down 4:30 and we'll call it good. Well, that is a recipe for trouble. If an employee does this over several years, records it, but never puts it on the timesheet, the employer is still responsible for paying that. So if 3 years later, an employee presents to you a list of hours that I work beyond that 40 hours, you can't prove otherwise, well, you're writing a check at that point. And gosh, if the Wage and Hour Division of Fair Labor Standards, or sorry, the Labor Relations Board comes in and does an audit, they will tack on some fines on top of that can sometimes be very substantial. 2 times in my career, I've actually seen this happen. It's not a pretty sight. This is one way to protect everybody. The employee is paid for the hours that they work, when they work the hours. Don't have to worry about keeping a side sheet. They're paid when they're supposed to be paid. And you can rest assured that you're doing the right thing. You don't have to worry about that wage and hour audit. In fact, you might see bring it because we're that clean. We'd like you to review that. So that's just one case. And also automating the system will also, I don't want to say make it easier on the payroll people, but it certainly will make their jobs much more efficient. And the chance of error is dramatically reduced on a system like that. Don't know what kind of cost this is going to be. We'll issue an RFP, we'll find out, and then we'll decide whether to proceed.
There's actually a link from BSNA, correct? BSNA already does that. It's just, this is what are you looking to?
BSNA is somewhat limited because they don't establish like time clocks for you. They don't have a system where I can sit down at my desktop, go to my homepage and check in. Doesn't have that. You can type it in. And unfortunately, what that means is most people will sit down and type in 8 o'clock to 4:30, 8 o'clock to 4:30, 8 o'clock to 4:30. And that's where we get exposed to trouble.
Question of comp time. How is that going to be figured?
Very carefully. I just came from a county where that was abused at such a level that we actually bargained it out of the contracts. We're not even going to allow it anymore. If you work overtime, you're going to be paid for the overtime. That's it. There won't be a separate bank of time off someplace that has to be used within a certain time frame. And I look at the sheriff, for instance. The last thing the sheriff wants is a officer to come in and say, gosh, I've got 50 hours of comp time and I got to use it up by the end of the month. Give me the time off. And that very well
It's a problem around here. It is a problem.
I'm worried about what I'm going to see when I turn that rock over. I really am.
Just want to make sure that that base is covered.
Yeah. We may have to be, adopting some policies about how comp time is
Just looking at,
allowed if you want to allow
we
it.
do have that problem.
In that process, when we're looking for that RFP for time cards, I know there's also included in some of those programs, there's things like for us as the Board of Commissioners, for our expense vouchers. Just yesterday, I spent time doing my final for the last year's mileage stuff, okay? Some boards have a monthly sheet that comes up. George has, I have that sheet, but it comes pre-filled up. Somebody takes the time to fill it out. What townships do you have? Those townships are already listed.
Oh, I don't have that.
Yeah, none of us
I
have
have to write them down.
Yeah, and we have to. I'm just saying, if there's a system out there and these forms need to be created, then you just check, I went to a Hamilton Township. Hamilton Township is 28 miles round trip or
It's
whatever.
figured from your home and it's on Google. It's easy to figure.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Our general things that we do every month are, I've got 6 townships, 2 villages, 3 commissions,
Right.
and then there's room at the bottom for those extra things. I went to Frankenmuth to an alternative energy conference. I went to the MAC conference. You can take those in and add them, but I'm like, it would be, I think, a lot more professional than the first meeting of every month. George prints his out, brings it in and gives it to either Angie or to Dave, or tonight it would be Jan. They're done. Then there's a check and balance system to it that they're done consistently, professionally, they're all done the exact same way. Some aren't handwritten, some aren't typed in, some, you know what I mean? And I think a system like you're talking about, something that I'm very interested in having something like that for our Board of Commissioners, because I think it can be an added on sheet.
Yeah.
You just boom, 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 and you're done.
Just so you know, I've already written that down. That was RFP number 3. But just so you know, I actually.
Perfect. Because I'm like, there's way to simplify.
Yeah. It was,
Yeah, I'm very persistent. I do it every month.
Mhm.
I don't trust my memory.
Yeah, I write it all down on a piece of paper.
I do, but I just,
Sit down and type it in twice a year.
it takes time and I want to make sure it's right, so.
RFP number 3 is for that very system. Will
Alright.
allow us to create our own forms. And when you click the submit button, it goes where it needs to go, whether it's to, the board chair or whether it's the finance director or the clerk, it will go there. That individual will then see that form, will be able to review what's on there and sign off on it. And it
Or
gets,
if you made a mistake or forgot something, they can highlight.
right.
That's what I'm looking for, is something so that everybody does it consistently, the exact same way.
Yeah, and there are other things that we do. For instance, you might be interested to know when an employee retires or when a new employee's been hired or whatever happens in that transaction. Well, setting a system up like this, the department head can say, I hired a new clerk at this rate, subject to this bargaining agreement or whatever. It gets sent, first of all, to HR and to the payroll people, so they're entered into the system. But if you're interested in seeing that as an individual commissioner, just to see it, you don't have to prove anything. That can automatically be sent to you too, so that you see it in real time. You're able to keep up with it. There are other forms where you might want to know that. For instance, in your purchasing policies, any purchase that exceeds a certain number, a certain dollar amount, you want to see 3 quotes. That's written right in the policy. So there's nothing wrong with department head saying, yes, I need one of these contracts, one of these projects that is under that amount. And of course, it's going to come to the finance department and to accounts payable, so they're aware. But you can see that too, and you can see the 3 quotes attached to it. Maybe you're interested in that, maybe you're not, but it's up to you then at that point. If you want to see it, you've got it, and you've got it in real time. You don't have to wait for a meeting. You don't have to wait 30 days or anything like that. And that's the third one I'd like to send out. Those are the other 2, the automated time and attendance and the form system aren't as critical. So I'm not going to put them on the fast track to be done on February 3rd, but certainly by March, we should be able to process all that, get it back here for you to review and decide whether or not we want to proceed. Each of these I also want to review with department heads because they will be impacted by all 3 of them. So it's good to get that feedback and that input while the process is going on. So that's what I have for the past few weeks, even though there were holidays in there. This seems like an awful lot, but here we go.
Okay.
If there are any objections, if you don't want me to issue RFPs, let me know. But there really is no harm in doing that at this point. You're not obligated to do anything.
Thank you. I think that's going to be well used in this county with the commissioners. Okay, why don't we go with you, Steve, then? Were you done?
I am.
Okay, Steve?
Commissioner reports, I think I'd like to start out first. Happy New Year to everyone. Here we are. We have a new administrator on board for the new year. Another thing, when he brought up, when we mentioned going if employee's gonna retire or something as a commissioner, I'd like to have there be a system somehow. Like, I didn't know as of yesterday that Becky Clark's, her father had passed away. And tried to communicate with her, and I felt bad because I tried to communicate with her only to have her send me that. And I'd like this, my sincere condolences to her and her family, being that she had just lost her dad. So I think I wanted to make sure I mentioned that. On with the meetings I attended, Parks and Recreation. It was in the paper. Ken Davis had given us, many, many years of his services being on the board. Ken was a wealth of knowledge. He brought a big, thick 3-ring binder that had everything in it from the years that he had been on the board. It was always very, very, very impressive. Because if you needed legacy data, he had it. And he had it with him at the meeting. It was very impressive. And we're gonna miss that in Ken.
Maybe he'll give you the binder.
Yeah, well, I've known Ken you know what I mean? Most of my life, and it's just, I wasn't surprised, and he had a wealth of knowledge. He'd worked for the DNR. So, I mean, he brought a lot to that board, and we're gonna miss him in that, calm guidance of knowledge that he had. Many of you were at the MTA meeting on, can't remember what day it was, a Thursday. Yeah, I can't remember what the day, what was it? 19th of December. That was after our last meeting. I thought it was a good, productive meeting. It was neat to see St. Louis Fire come in there and present their stuff and in the academy, and to know that, Todd is not a rope tire. I mean, now Bob and I were ready. We were ready for the challenge, and they never put us up there, Bob. I think they were afraid of you to go up there and tie them ropes. But anyhow, that was a good, productive meeting. The 22nd, I attended Fulton Township. Being that it's a new year and we're going to be faced with this question, I hear about it 6 times a month if I go to all 6 of my township meetings. Well, not 6 because Washington's not part of it, but blight. We got to figure out what we're doing with blight and how we're going to proceed as we move forward. We've talked about it in different meetings before. We have to figure out what we're doing with blight. You talked last month about one of your townships has made some, adopted some resolutions on dangerous buildings and that sort of thing. That's great, but we still have this.
Oh, no doubt. No,
The system.
no, Ken's working on it.
Yeah, and we need to make sure we're moving forward so that we have a definitive answer to take to our townships. How are we going to handle, they all paid last year and not a lot happened with that. Are we going to credit them for this year? How are we going to handle that? It needs to be.
Figuring it out right now.
Okay, good. That needs to be figured out.
He's working on
We
it.
have good information to take.
And I've been talking about, he's working.
Good. Because I know the guy sitting out there is gonna ask about it. And then last night I attended the Parrington meeting. Parrington and Fulton Township have a lot going on right now with the sewer system. I want to personally thank Angie, because Angie and I spent hours and hours and hours in this courthouse looking for documentation on the ownership of the sewer system in Fulton Township. And although we found a couple of resolutions about when it was originally approved, there really wasn't anything that, I think it satisfied their attorneys. Correct me if I'm wrong, you've gotten an email now that says you guys are the owners of it, correct? There's no more mystical, possibly the county owns it. Fulton Township owns that sewer system. So, and the reason the county was involved in it at all was we had the financial background or backing back in 74 or whatever year.
Yeah, well, we,
60s, when this thing all started, the township didn't have the money to back it.
you have to sign, you have to sign on to say if it didn't get paid for,
Then we do it.
that's common.
Yeah, so,
I think that's, their zone, so when we.
so it's,
on information.
they own the sewer. They're gonna, I think, look for some grant money to help, because there's things with that I think everybody's surprised with, that thank God some of the stuff still works, but a lot of it been there since it was
All
installed.
these sewer systems that have been in 25, 30 years ago,
Yeah,
they got problems.
yes, yeah, and it's,
They're not the only one.
oh, no, not at all, but it's gonna need some updating, and
Yeah,
they needed to have true ownership before they could even proceed with trying to solicit.
I agree with you. North Star's got the same problem.
Yep, so I think they're moving in the right direction. Parrington is still trying to get all of their water meters installed. They are starting a new, water meter, billing process, and they put in all new water meters throughout the city, our village. And they still have a few people who either, for whatever reason, the list is fairly short. They're gonna mail them all another reminder saying, this has to happen. We have to get these things installed. So I hope they will be able to get that. Some of them are businesses. I can't imagine they won't just let them come in and get it done. But some of the homeowners I think don't want people to come into their basements for whatever reason. And but it's got to get done. And the system is really pretty awesome. They have, everybody can get a app on their phone, see their water usage. In the ones they have installed, they have, I think, a list of 10 that they know these people have a leak. And they can let these people know before they start billing under the new system. I mean, some of these people are using ridiculous amounts of water a day, and the only way they can be doing that is they have a leak somewhere. Some of them are like, I don't have a leak. You have a leak. This thing is, there's the only way to use that much water. You should have a constant flow of water. So it's gonna really, I think, help our public out immensely once the system is fully installed and everybody understands it. It can allow the actual village can trigger and know and let somebody know, like, you have a problem before they even might know it themselves, something in their basement. It's really an impressive system, and I hope they can get that finished up. And that is my report.
Okay, thank you. Okay, Commissioner Bailey.
Yeah, on the 17th, Steve and I had a Board of Health meeting. And one of the nice things that happened, it was at the end of the year, so it's kind of Christmassy. We had our administrator, and we also had our board chair bring donuts. We had lots of donuts. Steve, I think, had 5 of them.
Although those ones that Adam brings,
Well,
I
there.
think you could eat 5 of those. Yeah, looks good. You might
Just tease.
you might-
No, it was just the end of the year wrap up. We're gonna have an organizational meeting in January. At the 4th meeting, and we'll go from there, but the Health Department had some challenging times this year. A lot of our large grants were cut. Not completely, but they were cut substantially by the state of Michigan, just letting you know. And it doesn't look like it's gonna be improving. So we're gonna have some challenges coming forward. And I just want to make this board aware and the public aware that we may have some challenges come next budget season because of the lack of funds from the state of Michigan. And so, but everything else is going good. They're doing a good job. And we have a lot of things to tackle, but we have a good Board of Health, and everybody works together and we've got great employees. I'm pretty confident coming into next year. That's all I've got.
Okay, Commissioner Gay.
Well, the only thing I went to was the townships, the pizza thing at Pine River Township. That was on Thursday, December 18th, the week before Christmas. And, there was St. Louis Fire Chief and young people getting dressed and all their equipment. That's it.
Okay, thank you. Okay, that leaves me last. I was somewhat busy during the holiday this last month. I also went to Pine River Township. That was very exciting and very interesting. I'm so glad that I went. I learned a lot. And also, as I think I told you at the last meeting, I had my niece make over 200 cookies. And also some pretzel sticks, and there was some other stuff in it. So I did many trays up and was able to take them all over. Took some to the sheriff's office. That you were the first. Wanted to make sure you got some. You had the most people. And then Alma, St. Louis, and Bethany. And that included the police department, the fire department, the city hall, and the commissioners on all of them. And my niece made those cookies, so I told her next year I want 250. And she loves making them. And then also I did there was a MMR meeting, which I did miss. I cannot remember why I missed that. I don't miss any of my meetings. But this one, probably the first time in 26 years, I missed that meeting. And but I sent cookies. I knew they would it'd be fine if I sent those cookies. You went to it, Marty, didn't you?
Yes.
Yeah, and so I will be bringing we have a meeting this Thursday at 4 o'clock. And, other than that, I was busy shopping at the mall and the different places, girls. There was a lot of good deals going on. And I thought of all these girls that had to work. I thought maybe I should be looking so I could come back and tell you, now's the time to shop. Everything's marked down. But other than that, that's my my report. Any questions on the board on this? Okay, we'll continue on. The communication reports consisted of new businesses. I gotta change my glasses so I can read. Okay. With the first one here, I have here the, Data Tuma, is that how you say it? Altum, CEO from Region.
Altum.
Okay, I'm sorry.
That's okay. Good afternoon, everyone. Good to be here with you. I just need a few minutes of your time. I'll start with an introduction. Dana Altum, and no worries about the name. I've been called Diana, and Dane most of my life, so it's
I
okay.
figure out how that would make it into.
No worries.
Put it down.
Mom liked creative spelling. I am the new CEO of Region 7 Area Agency on Aging. I'm about 90 days in, still getting acclimated, but come from the senior services and aging services world. So very excited to be there. I wanted to come today just to introduce myself and to run through a few things quickly. I'll be back in the spring with your county's allocations, but for now, wanted to just run through a few things to make sure that everyone is aware of what an area agency on aging does, why it matters that we have a relationship, right? That we're working together for the seniors in Gratiot County. And so we coordinate a network of services for older adults, their caregivers, and adults with disabilities. Partnerships like ours foster innovative solutions. We generate greater outcomes for the people we serve. And this all comes from your millage dollars and the funds that flow through us to serve your seniors, right? Now, all of our services don't align, but some of them do. And so some of the things that Region 7 distributes funds to support in your county are congregate nutrition, home delivered meals, case coordination and support, caregiver case management, home repair, chores, excuse me, homemaking, personal care and respite care, senior center staffing for your patient on aging, and then caregiver training. And I looked back at 2022 through 2024, and it looks like we have been distributing about 250 to 320,000 annually to your county to help cover these services. That does fluctuate some, and 2025 isn't closed, so I couldn't tell you that. But what I also could see is that annually, it looks like around $1 million is also accessed by seniors in your community who are served by the My Choice waiver through Region 7. And so all of the ways that we can help serve your seniors is what we're trying to do, and we're going to continue to do. Currently, so that was 50 to 60 participants on the waiver that it looks like we've served annually for the last few years. I asked our team, what are we currently serving in Gratiot County? And it's 71. So love to see that number going up. We know that the number of seniors is increasing. And so we want to make sure that they're getting connected with those services, which is truly the point of why I'm here, to make sure that we can continue to connect them and create more awareness for Region 7, because we really are the hub of being able to connect people to services. Another attribute of or benefit, if you will, of our partnership, our relationship with your county, is that Region 7 advocates on multiple platforms, locally and nationally, for aging services. And so you're doing what you do in your county to advocate and get millage dollars and help serve your seniors. And we are out there doing everything we can to continue to gain support and funding, maintain it or increase it for seniors in Gratiot County. Now, we do serve 9 other counties, so we do that for each of our counties, but we work with you each individually. There is a list, I won't go through the list, but there's a list on the paper that you have that gives you an idea of some of the platforms through which we advocate. And so how can you help? And this is everyone, not just commissioners, but when you're out in your counties and you're hearing that there are needs and you're not sure where to have people reach out, or maybe they went to your Commission on Aging, which is a wonderful agency, and maybe your Commission on Aging doesn't do that particular, can't meet that particular need. We need them to call Region 7 because we coordinate and collaborate with your Commission on Aging. We are not competitors, we're supporters. But we also have additional services and access to additional funds and grants that may be able to answer that need that your county is unable to, or your Commission on Aging is unable to. And we want to be able to do that. The way to do that is people have to know we're here. And unfortunately, because I consider this unfortunate, one of the first things I heard when I started with Region 7 was, we're the best kept secret. That is the worst thing a leader could hear. We need to be the best known reason. And so my ask is, please lean on us more. And I'll continue to make that possible and easy for you to do, right, and throughout your county. Connect us with your local legislators. Warm introductions, always fast track meaningful conversations. Now, I do happen to have a little bit of familiarity with Jerry Nair and Roger Hauk, and they are both in your county, if I believe, if I'm correct. If I'm missing any, I'd love an introduction to them if you would be so inclined, because again, we can fast track some very meaningful conversations that way, which will help all of us out. And then ensure your county's seats on our board of directors and on our advisory council are always occupied. Now, we have Corey Nestle, who sits on our board of directors for your county, and Diane Kellogg-Conroy, who is on our advisory board representing your county. And so there's no concern there. It's just always making sure if something happened and someone had to step down, that it's top of mind to get that filled as soon as possible. Having your representation on our board and our advisory council ensures that the efforts that we are making are relevant to the needs in your county for your seniors and their caregivers, and your adults with disabilities. So that is all I have for today. I appreciate the time with you. Thank you so much. And if there are any questions that I can answer, I'd be glad to.
Do you have a business card or any literature?
I can leave that with Angie. I'll leave that at the end of the meeting.
Okay, thank you.
Very welcome. Absolutely. Thank you.
Okay, resolution 26-345 to authorize an adjustment to the fiscal year 2026 Gratiot County budget for district court.
Do that?
Say what?
Want me to walk you through the
Yeah.
resolution?
Yeah.
It's there and all that.
The district court reps could not be here today, but did have an issue that has come up within their department. They're in a bit of, within their court, I should say. They're in a bit of a transition right now with judges, and there is a position in the court that they would really like to delay filling on a permanent basis until the election has occurred and we know who the new judge is going to be. The proposal is from the court is that they take some of those assignments and allow a different employee to do that. I'm looking for the title of that employee. Seeing right away, but what this does is allows the transfer of just over $41,000 from the salary and wage line item, move it over to the overtime line item to compensate that employee. This ends up not affecting the bottom line of the budget at all. They're just acknowledging that this other employee is going to have to do additional work for the short term. And so that money would be put into that overtime line. Now, this is a situation that would leave the other position open. So when the new fiscal year starts, that position could be filled. But because it is a wage line, it requires board approval to do it. And it's written right in your appropriations resolution that you adopted. Probably, I'm going to say, what about September? Maybe a little earlier than that, but that's a requirement that's actually written in that resolution. That's why this is here tonight.
The district court executive judicial assistant.
Yes,
The one you.
that's the one I'm looking for.
I thought so.
Again, bottom line does not change on the budget. It's just a movement of the funds within the district court
Okay,
allocation.
You need a resolution.
Need
They have a resolution. They need a motion to.
a resolution, need a
Motion to approve.
so do we have a motion?
I'll take a motion to.
You do the motion? Okay, the motion would read as, Angela,
To
you,
approve resolution 26-345 to authorize an adjustment to the fiscal year 2026 Gratiot County budget for district court. That's what you said.
do we need anything else with that? Okay, and so we have a motion by Commissioner Gay and a second by Commissioner Bailey. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Oh, I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
resolution, yeah.
This will be a roll call.
Commissioner Gay,
Yes.
Commissioner Sapsy,
Yes.
Commissioner Bailey,
Yes.
Commissioner Bunting.
Yes. The motion passed. Okay, we will, a resolution 26-346 to appoint a member to the Gratiot County Central Dispatch Authority Board.
No, you got the wrong agenda. That one was taken off.
Oh, okay,
But to J3.
taken off, okay.
Yep, and I sent you an email separately for the
Oh.
agenda.
You sent me an email, I did not get it done yet.
Yes, I don't. Cross that one off. Number
Okay.
2, that's 3.
Okay, across the board.
4.
Okay, we're gonna go on to 4, a resolution 26-347 to appoint calendar year 2026 board and commissioner appointments. That's on page 22. So on page 23, we have a list of all of the boards. We have left one of the boards off. And so I wanted to bring that to our attention. The Conservation District, that is a very important board. It used to always be on here. There is 2 of us that are attending that. One of them is Commissioner Shopsy and the other one is myself. And so there'll be more on this later in the year, I would say that. Right now, we used to fund them, and we, somewhere along the last few years, have stopped that. And I'm glad that the group is here tonight from MSU Extension. And maybe you could kind of give us a little bit how important it is to have the Conservation District.
The board chair for the conservation district is here. Kevin's here.
Okay, yes.
And Greg's here. He's the.
Oh, yes, I did call your office today and tell them, yes. I don't think people realize well, a lot of people don't, the public maybe, but the farmers certainly do. 4-H certainly would know.
This one's supposed to be considered, I attend it every month or try, I think I missed last month, but
Yeah.
I'm appointed to it. Is that supposed to be one of these that are
Yes.
added to this
Yes.
absolute list or not?
Yes, it used to be on this list and then it got taken off and because, and somewhere,
Been on the list since I've been a commissioner.
I don't.
well,
So I don't know. I think it'd behoove us to look into that before we do.
Point.
Make it official and put it on there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I believe you would be a voting member, because I don't think that's in their bylaws.
I don't vote at the, I don't make any, I'm simply an attendant. Yeah.
I think you can voluntarily attend and you don't have a vote.
Yeah. I do not vote on it.
do we have someone here from MSU Extension? Is my understanding that every county had to have the conservation district because of the farms. We are agriculture, am I right? And it used to be on here, and then somewhere along the line, it got taken off, and then
Not have,
we stopped funding them. Well, yes, but,
do not have direct funding from the county. They have to have a contract.
well, let me put it
It's
this,
a different situation altogether.
okay, what I'm gonna say,
MSU thing, they get
They
funding.
get, that's a millage.
Yes, that's what I'm saying, but the
No,
conservation.
conservation is not. It's a separate
I
entity
get that.
together, and it's treated separately. So
Mhm.
let's not get conflated with the MSU extension. I don't want the public to think that they're one and the same, and they're not. They're complete
they're not
organization, and they have their own rules and regulations set by the state of Michigan. But by statute, we cannot hand them money.
Mhm.
We have.
I think you're wrong on that. I will challenge you on it.
Challenge.
I'm gonna challenge you on that because you are wrong.
Be right.
Because of the fact that, I'll tell you what, I will let the farmers, I'm gonna send a text out and we'll put it in the paper. I want the farmers to know that we need to be funding them. We used to fund you. And that's how they are able to have somebody come out and test their land, test their water, test their plants, know what their chemicals are. That all goes through the conservation district. Am I not right? And then also I made a whole list of, I can't remember what I put, but of all the things that they did in this county.
I did want to add something too. We're in an impaired watershed. So since we're in the Saginaw Bay, this is an impaired watershed. It was designated by the state for 2 years now, maybe. But I think eventually there will be things that come out of that. And the district would be the funnel for money. And has been in the past, when we've been able to even get grants, the partnership. More funding can come to the district if it's alive and well, and working well for our farmers.
Well, I know the farmers will be upset if they did, because they go there. They're in and out of your office. And I also know that at one time, I remember that was back when I first started. And probably, I think that we were still paying you money even when you came on, George, on the board. And I can look it up because ask these guys, I have all my minutes yet.
You can do that. I'm telling you, by statute, we can't give them money. It has to be a contract.
Well, a contract or whatever, they don't, the thing is, right now, you have people working in that office for free. They don't get paid. They're there because the farmers need them. And if you go to any other county in the state of Michigan, they have a conservation district because we're an agriculture state. Most of it, you take away the farmers, you don't have anything. Well, I guess with all the wind turbines going up in the solar panels, there might not be farmers in the future, but meanwhile, why it is now, we need to be funding you. And it wasn't just, it's not just that, there was a whole list of stuff. I wrote it down. And, I have time for a particular. Yeah, it's right here. I found it. They take care of the parks, the rivers and the ponds. Their farmers are the main people that they're helping with the trees, the land, the dirt, the plants, the bushes, the chemicals, all of that goes through the district, conservation district. And then to the schools, they open up, they have, what is it called here in St. Louis, where all the kids go and they spend a whole day and they can look at.
First health.
Project Red is what?
That is owned by the conservation district. Tires, when they collect all the tires, once, twice a year, that is conservation district. When a farmer needs somebody, that's where they go, when they have a problem. And it's my understanding that we're supposed to have a conservation district. It's just like the health department or mental health, they're all in the same group. And somehow or another, and I said, I'm going to be going further, I'm going to be pushing it this year. You guys, they were getting what, $30,000 or $40,000? That's not very much, really, but they use that money for grants. They took that money, wrote grants to bring in money so they could hire. They have 2 young people that come to their meetings, and both of them, maybe you could tell, I was there the day they entered introduced themselves and told all the different things they did. I can't even remember all of them, but it was where they went out to the farms and did all this testing and tested the food afterward, the crops and stuff.
Yeah, soil conservation is a meat type is probably the conditions. Right.
So the little bit of money that we gave to you, that's back when we didn't have any money. Now we do have money with the wind turbines, and we don't give you any money. It doesn't make any sense. But anyway, I come from farms too. I mean, didn't have a farm, but my family did. And so I think it's important. But what I am gonna do, I've been with Duffney Township, that's one of my districts, and Wheeler Township. I will stop in there and, let them know that we need their support and get some of the farmers here to the meetings. I think that would help, don't you?
I do, but awareness of the district is what I've thought has been an issue for a long time. I've been on board since 2009 and chairman almost as long. And just some people don't know we're there and what we can do for them. Two, we're located in the service center here in Ithaca, the USDA Service Center. And FSA is in there as well as the NRSS, which is like the technical support side for landowners as well as farmers to put in the conservation programs on their property. Lots of things that are available, but people just have to ask.
Yeah.
You know,
And most of your stuff is free too. Like if somebody, I know a guy that brought in, he had some kind of a bug in all of his trees that he had bought in his front yard. He kind of wanted to make it kind of bushy because he set way back.
Yeah, it just, there's a little bit of a crossover.
Yeah, and anyway, they were able to figure out what it was, what he had to do. And without conservation district, where would you go? And I think that we're mandatory, but I don't know that 100% sure. But I will be checking on it, and I think we need to get farmers in here so I can use your help to have them come.
Maybe just for clarification, we're more into diagnostics, I would say, and then they typically have the grant funding money. I might do research on farms, but I can't give a grant to a farmer to put in like a pad to contain a spill, like a gasoline or pesticide spill on his farmland, like that's kind of really different, but we still like each other very much.
So that's what I mean. You work together. You have to work together. And so do you get paid by the district? After I say it so many times, you can't say it.
as a director, we get a premium for the meetings we attend. But we're volunteers.
Your volunteers,
Our employees are paid employees.
that's what's important because you have young kids going to college. And where do they go? 4 years, 5 years, 6 years to get an education, and they come to work in Gratiot County, but we can't hardly pay them. And so they looked for another job that's going to pay them because they got to make a living, pay off that debt at the college. And that's what I've been hearing this last year. And I think that's so sad because we encourage kids to go to school, get a better education and get involved and stay here locally where you can help your community and make money. And yet we're not willing to and then the 30,000, 35, 40,000 is not that much. And yet it brings in so much more money to be able to fund the young people to work there.
I have a presentation. I'd be happy to, if the commissioners would allow it, get on your agenda one day.
Yes, yep.
On the screen and we could go through it.
Okay, that would,
Not very long.
okay, that would be great. You would get a hold of the clerk here, tell her you want on,
Good.
and bring it in, and we would love to see it. Okay, is there anybody else that would like to add on to this? Okay, so back to the board committees, and one of the things I was gonna ask Commissioner Gay, do you have any questions on anything here? I mean, you have shared a few things with me.
Oh, no, the only board I'm really on is the mental health board. And that's a term of 3 years. And I've been on it only a year and a half.
Okay,
So I'd like to stay on that board.
oh yeah, definitely. You are on other boards here.
Well, yeah, but they don't mean anything. They never meet. Well, there is northern Michigan counties
Yeah,
that I went to a few times with Steve.
Uh-huh.
We're up in Roscommon County, but
We used to have two commissioners on every board, and there are some here, there's only one, like Parks, there's only one person on, and the airport, there's one person on. MSU Extension is just myself. And, mental health, you're on. Commission on Aging, there's only one person. Is there any of those you'd like to be on? See, sometimes you have two people on a board. Doesn't mean you always vote. Sometimes you just go and it's like on the, Conservation District Board. I don't think I've ever voted. I just go there and listen and try to kind of group it all together, what I can do. Is there anything you'd like to be on? No? Okay, how about Commissioner Sapshi?
No, with the 6 townships and 2 villages and 3 things and an alternate, couple alternates, I'm good. I have enough meetings to go to.
I appreciate you driving me up.
We'll go again maybe sometime this winter when the weather's good, but
Good.
you know, we need to get back up to Roscommon. But that's, you're committing the day when you do that one. So
Yeah.
that's not a couple hour long deal. It's 2 hours there, 2 hours back.
Okay, Commissioner Bailey, is there anything you'd like? You're all set? Okay, I think I'm all set too. And so I need a motion to approve this.
I make a
Something?
motion.
Before you do that, on that Central Dispatch Authority, Chairman Owens wanted to be on that group, but there is a space in their agreement for an alternate. And we have no record of anybody ever having been appointed to that as an alternate. So
You want to be
Isn't
on?
that the one they wanted you to be?
right.
Is that the one they want you to be appointed to be the alternate? So you can actually.
Do something.
And he needs to be there. You need to be there.
Yeah, I'm fine. I'm gonna make sure that that gets.
It's a vital role.
Okay. Okay, okay, is there any other, would there be any other thing here? Okay, do I have a motion
Motion to
to approve this
approve the board appointment.
on board? Yeah, it's to approve, okay, do we have a second? Okay, motion was made by Commissioner Gay and supported by Commissioner Bailey. Is there, let's do a roll call.
Commissioner Sapsi,
Yes.
Commissioner Bailey,
Yes.
Commissioner Gay,
Yes.
Commissioner Bunting.
Yes, motion pass. Okay, we will continue on. Okay, resolution 26-348 to adopt Gratiot County Board of Commissioners rules and regulations. Do we have? That's the next one here. Do we have any questions on that? Do we want to go page by page?
You know, I read them.
You know what?
I-
Nothing, there's no changes.
No, this is very.
It's the same as
We did a really good.
adopted. Yep. So I'll make a motion that we adopt it.
Okay, a motion. Okay, motion by Commissioner Bailey that we adopt the resolution 26-348 and second by Commissioner Gay. And I think we need a roll call on that too.
Commissioner Bailey,
Yes.
Commissioner Gay,
Yes.
Commissioner Sapsi,
Yes.
Commissioner Bunting.
Yes, motion pass. Okay. Resolution 26-349, calendar year 2026, meeting a schedule.
Angie, the November, the election, is that gonna,
So usually between 6 and 8, it's pretty quiet
Okay.
night for me.
Okay.
So I just kept them on the same night
Okay.
because on the Monday, we used to move it to Monday,
Yeah.
but the townships after 4 o'clock have to download their electronic poll books and sometimes they need me, so. So I'd rather keep them
I
at,
just wanted to make sure it wasn't gonna interfere with.
they tell you to hurry it up on those.
So November third.
Just don't have me be your chair.
Typically election night.
Typically an election.
Yep.
And we will have a primary in August too.
Oh, August 4th.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
We could all vote before 4:30.
Yeah, you'll.
You can,
So move that we or approve resolution number 26-349, setting our 2026 meeting schedule.
For
Okay, motion by Commissioner Shopsy and second by Commissioner Bailey to approve 26-349 calendar.
Topsy gay.
we must,
I'm
The second.
must look alike.
It's getting late. Okay, all those in favor say aye.
Do you want to
We
vote?
gotta do a roll call.
You do a roll call, yes.
Commissioner Gay,
Yes.
Commissioner Sapsy,
Yes.
Commissioner Bailey,
yeah,
Commissioner Bunting.
Yes. Okay, motion passed. Resolution 26-350 to appoint members to the Airport Advisory Committee. Okay, that's on page 43.
yeah, this, basically is Eric Ripley, whose term ran out and he applied to rerun that. And also Bart Stoneman, who is the new representative from Greater Gratiot Development. So that's why they're on there.
They need to approve.
Yes,
Do we have a motion?
I motion to approve the new members part.
I'll support that.
Okay, motion made by Commissioner Gay to approve 26-350 to appoint members to the Airport Advisory Board. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Sapsy, Commissioner Bailey,
Yes,
Commissioner Gay,
Yes.
Commissioner Bunting.
Yes. The motion was approved. Okay, resolution 26-353 to appoint members to the Gratiot County Land Bank Authority Board.
351.
That's
353, you meant 351.
Okay, let me get my other glasses on. I just hate putting these on, but oh, yeah, you're right, 351.
yep.
Actually, I did that to see if you were paying attention.
That's Todd,
That's on page 45.
yeah, that's Todd Moggenberg and Jamie Kahn.
Okay. Okay, you want to make that? Okay,
And I'll make a motion that we approved it.
okay. Motion made by Commissioner Bailey, supported by Commissioner Shopsy to approve resolution
26-351.
351 to appoint members to the Gratiot County Board or Gratiot County Land Bank Authority Board. A roll call, please.
Commissioner Bailey,
Yes,
Commissioner Gay,
Yes.
Commissioner Sapsy, Commissioner Bunting.
Yes, and the motion has passed. Resolution 26-352 to appoint the member to a Gratiot County Zone Board of Appeal. Page 47.
To Craig Hooper.
it's Greg Cooper.
Yep.
And I'll make a motion that we approve this nomination.
Motion made by Commissioner Bailey to approve and second by Commissioner Shopsy to approve 26-352 to appoint a member to the Gratiot County Zoning Board of Appeals. And that name was
Craig Hooper.
Greg Cooper.
Cooper.
Okay. I'll go ahead and,
Commissioner Gay,
Yes.
Commissioner Sapsy,
Yes.
Commissioner Bailey,
Yeah,
Commissioner Bunting.
yes, and that motion has passed 4-0. Okay, consideration of unfinished business. Would anybody like to speak? Anybody from the county commissioners, would you like to speak? Commissioner Bailey?
Fine.
Commissioner Gay?
No, if no one wants to speak, I make a motion for adjournment.
I'll move that one.
Okay. Okay, now Commissioner, Gay has made a motion to adjourn and Commissioner Bailey has seconded it. And that was all A, so you're ready to go.